What is good in the motherfucking hood? I did a breakdown here for what is action taking. What does it mean for someone to take action on something, okay? What happens exactly? How do we go from someone who is just wanting to do something from actually executing on it, right? So this is the input that gets into your body, and this is the output. The output here is the execution. It's the bodily movement or the cognitive effort. This is what we're aiming for. This is what we're trying to get. And here's a little bit of a diagram here that explains it actually at its first principles, you know. And honestly, I think this is it. I think I found what taking action is at its first principles so far, right? It's a stimulus and response. Stimulus and response, right? So the stimulus is in your environment. These are the things that you interact with. So for example, forms of stimulus are these, right? Food, sleep, audio, and image. It's something that enters your sensory experience, and then your brain processes it to be able to produce the execution. And the stimulus basically cause thoughts and emotions in your brain, in your mind, right? So in your mind, now you start getting desire or fear. The positive, which what we want is desire, and the negative is the fear, right? And then you have a response, which is the action itself, right? And when you take action, there is a reward or like feedback, you know? The form of feedback here is pleasure or pain, right? So we have a stimulus. Let's say, for example, let's say the thumbnail, right? The thumbnail is a stimulus that you interacted with, you saw. And then the thumbnail gave you a desire. This is before you act. After you have that desire, now there is a response, which is the action. So this is you clicking on the video. After the response, now we have a reward. So this is you either enjoying the video or getting off. So a lot of people have already left the video, which is unfortunate. But here we have like pain and pleasure, right? As a form of like a reward after interacting with the stimulus. And then this pleasure actually goes back and feeds into the stimulus. So if you are enjoying the video, you're gonna want to stay and watch more of the video so that you can get more of that enjoyment, you know? And it's basically like this. It's a cycle, right? So stimulus information goes from the environment to your sensory organs. Stimulus information goes from the sensory organs to the brain. So it goes, for example, from your eyes or ears to the brain. And then the stimulus information, it goes from the brain to the muscles. So your brain sends a signal to your muscles to be able to move. And then the stimulus information goes from the muscles to the environment. So this is you actually interacting and taking action. And it looks kind of like this. So Descartes was the first person to introduce this idea, right? And he's the one who drew this, right? So as you can see, we have a stimulus, right, in the environment. It enters your sensory organs. Your brain processes it. Your brain sends a signal to your muscles here in your hands, and your hands then interacts with the environments, and the cycle repeats over and over and over again. This is it. This is taking actions, right? We want to learn how to take action. We want to learn how to be disciplined. This is it. This is it. Absolutely fucking insane. So in the other video where I explained systems thinking, right? I used these definitions and this diagram. So I'm not going to go over this time. Now we're just going to instantly apply the mental model. So the system, you know, the action taking system, it's a collection of stimuli and responses interacting together. And now let's talk about the elements, right? So what are the elements inside the system that are interacting together? So here we have sensory organs, thoughts, emotions, brain regions / activities, and your muscles. Okay? So far, I'm trying to keep it as simple as humanly possible, right? These are the things that together, when they interact, we have an action. So when these things interact together, we get bodily movements or execution or cognitive effort. So those are the elements. Interactions. These are what elements do to each other. So I still haven't fully studied cognitive science. I ordered a second book called Human Action Control. It's about the neuroscience and the cognitive science of this, you know, controlling your actions. So I currently still didn't receive it. I'm going to get it tomorrow, and I'm going to fill these interactions after I start reading that book, okay? So the function and purpose of what the system does, the collection of its behaviors over time, or its goal, the goal of the system, which is to take action to move away from pain or towards pleasure, right? So that's the function here we're doing. We just convert, this is the function, convert energy. So we have energy in our body, right? Convert that into bodily or mental execution. We get the energy from food and sleep. This is the input, right? This is the process right? Of that energy, what's happening to it, it's in here. But basically, we're converting energy from food and sleep to execution. And that process happens when these elements interact together. Inflow, the process of inputs entering the system and becoming outputs. How do they enter the system? Well, it's the sensory experience. It's you seeing an image. It's you hearing a voice. It's you eating the food, right? It's you sleeping. That's the sensory experience we're having. Right, that's the first step. That's step one of entering the system. Output, what comes out of the system is the execution, like you said. Outflow, which is the process of outputs leaving the system. So this is you taking a shit, taking a piss, or working. I put it here as well as honestly neural signals, which is, you know, if you look back at this diagram as well, it's honestly just neural signal. It's your brain sending this. It's right here. It's this one. It's when the brain sends a signal to the muscles so that we can move, you know. What else we have here? Process, the journey of inputs becoming an output. So the process is the energy converting. It's calorific energy converting into motor or cognitive energy, guided by thoughts and emotions, traveling through the nerve. Your thoughts, emotions, and neural signals guide the energy. So that's the thing that we gotta understand the most here. Your thoughts, your emotions, and your neural signals. The stock is something quantifiable and measurable inside the system. We discussed this, you know, in the systems video, which is calories and energies. You eat calories, you have more energy. Positive and negative emotions, positive and negative thoughts. These things we can measure inside the system. It's like how much energy you have, how much stuff you have, you know. It goes up and down. And then the last thing we have here are feedback and the environment. So feedback is when the inputs or outputs affect the stock, and this is the reward. So like I explained earlier, when something feels good, you want to do more of it. When something feels bad, you want to do less of it, right? And the environment is the place where the system is operating in. So here, it's the nervous system. Where all of this is happening, it's in your nerves. It's in your neurons, in the brain. And this is self-control. I explained this, you know, in the previous video as well, in the gaming video, how to make life into a video game. Your controller, the thing you use to control your body, is the nervous system. Isn't this sick, bro? Isn't this fucking clean? Isn't this... Oh my god, I am so fucking passionate for this, bro. I am so happy that I'm finally finding answers to my questions. Holy fuck, dude. Holy fuck. Like I said, boys, I apologize for the shit quality with these videos. I'm gonna make guides and I'm gonna make good intros, good outros, good explanations and shit like that in the future. But for now, I'm mostly focused on actually applying this to my life and getting results for myself. Because if I can't do it for myself, I can't teach it to you, you know. This is why the videos are super low quality right now, and I'm really, really sorry for that. So yeah, that's it for this video. I hope you liked it. Like, subscribe, all of that shit, you know what I'm saying? And tell me in the comments what you think. Bye-bye.